Mark Menendez here with you, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro, and wiggle, wobble. How about sometimes a real nice tight shimmy for your crankbait fishing? Crankbait fishing is one of my favorite ways to cover water and catch big bass, particularly in the fall and in the early spring when they're gathered up and they're chasing shad. But as water temperatures drop and water clarities get cleaner, sometimes those fish don't want a wide wobbling bait. They want something with a real pretty shimmy. And I've got something here that really does that well. This is the KVD 1.5 flat crankbait from Strike King. It's a flat bodied crankbait. You can see how thin the body is. It's got a relatively wide lip on it, but yet it still carries that characteristic of that real tight wiggle. That's very important in clean water. I do love this big rounded lip. It kind of shapes like your thumb is shaped, and that helps this bait get through rocks, get around cover better than other crankbaits. Most flat-sided crankbaits like this have a very narrow lip to them. That creates the tight wiggle, but it also creates hung baits when you're cranking in cracks and crevices on riprap and natural rock banks. This is a 5 to 9 foot diving bait. I cast it on 10 and 12 pound line most of the time. Comes in great colors, but the key is that tight wiggle. When they don't want the wobble and they don't want a little wiggle, that little shimmy is really serious. The KVD 1.5 flat crankbait, and you can find it at Tackle Warehouse.